What's up guys, OPTIC Ashes here, bringing you another hashtag Ask Ashes video today. I'm in a hotel room, as you can see by my surroundings, and yes, I have a mark on the side of my nose. I kind of explained why in my vlog, go watch that. If it's out, when it comes out, watch my vlog. Okay, so we're gonna get right into the questions here. I've got about 13 questions. I've got most of the ones that people tweeted at me first, and then all the ones that were DM'd to me, which I keep anonymous. After that, except for one at the very end, somebody snuck in last minute before I started recording. So we're gonna get right into the questions, starting with question number 1 from @DA1N_, who asks, how did it feel to join OPTIC? I've answered this a few times. Joining OPTIC was literally a dream come true. We were hoping to land a big organization, and getting our dream organization was like a step beyond what we could have imagined, and it truly is and has been constantly just mind-blowing. Like every experience interacting with the fans and just being able to represent the green wall and, you know, support the other teams and have them support us. It's like joining into a family that you've been a fan of, which is like, it's not a really good metaphor. I need a good metaphor for joining OPTIC, but it's crazy, and it's hard not to be like starstruck and hype about it all the time, because it's such a, you know, a hype thing that happened to us. But it's just an amazing experience, and you guys like out there in the green wall who support us make it even better than we could have ever imagined. So thank you to you guys. Question number 2 comes from @Marbles, who asks, serious question, Heilmann's Mayo or Miracle Whip? I think I normally get Heilmann's Mayo, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but not Miracle Whip. I don't think I've ever used Miracle Whip. Question number 3 comes from @RichardH1985, who asks, your first impressions of Hex. Hector, we haven't really met, you know, in person yet. Hopefully soon. He has been really awesome and supportive of the team. He interacts with us. He chats with us. He's fun to talk to. It's like, it's a crazy feeling, like having, you know, he's a boss, he's an owner, he can talk business when he needs to, but he's also like a big brother, and that kind of feeling and that warmness into us, you know, as 6 strangers is awesome to see. So I'm really impressed with just how supportive of us he has been, and how, you know, he makes sure that, like, you know, if we need something, it's getting taken care of, and you know, it's just, it's a really great feeling to have that from, you know, an organization owner, especially one as large as OPTIC. Question number 4 comes from @NadyBoy, who asks, what are you most excited for since joining OPTIC? Honestly, I'm loving this whole YouTube grind. Obviously I mess up every now and then, but that is probably like the most exciting part of this, is just grinding YouTube and like seeing the interaction with the fans. Like, you guys make this so much more fun, and I keep stumbling over this because I really don't know what to say. There's just not, I don't have the right vocabulary to describe what I'm feeling towards this all. So I will also have to say that I'm really excited to rock an OPTIC jersey in a couple days. That's going to be a dream come true. Like, Ashes on the back, OPTIC jersey, so excited. Question number 4 comes from @ADavToRemember. Now, I'm going to put a little note in here. Make sure that you guys use the hashtag AskAshes. Normally, I'm going to ignore your question if you don't use the hashtag. But I liked, there was 2 questions that were asked that didn't use the hashtag that I liked, so I'm gonna answer them anyways. But I'm giving you a pass this time. Next time, if your question's not in the video because you didn't use the hashtag, don't blame me. But you ask, why Gears of War? Gears of War was like one of those games that first captured me way back in Gears of War 1, and I loved the blood, gore, violence part of it. You know, like, I loved how in your face, over the top it was, the headshots with the bursting and the noise, and all of it was just so amazing. And it's so different. It's not like a normal, you know, it's a third-person shooter, so it's not your normal FPS stare down the barrel of the gun. Like, it's a whole new movement system. There's a much larger skill gap in terms of like when you start off and like the pro level, like the top competitive level. So that all, you know, attracted to my competitive side, and all my friends were playing it, and then they switched off to Call of Duty, and I just couldn't. I was just too addicted to Gears of War. Question number 6 comes from @BBS_DBlock, who asks, what is your expectations for the next 12 months? Well, obviously I expect us to travel to these events. I expect us to win these events. One of my goals is to grow my YouTube channel continually and my Twitch channel continually. So I'm going to be, I'm expecting to, or at least my goal, I'm not really expecting it. I don't want to say I'm expecting it because that's kind of dumb, but my goal is to, you know, like, incrementally hit up. Like right now my goal is to hit 5,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm nowhere close. But I'm still tickled to death by like the 1,300 that I'm at. Like that to me is mind-blowing and awesome. The support from you guys is amazing. So you know, I just want to, like, my goal is to kind of make this more and more financially feasible through streaming and through YouTube. So I also want to, you know, like, go visit the OPTIC house and, you know, do some collab videos with some of the other OPTIC members. So if you guys happen to see this, hit me up. Question number 7 comes from, okay, all these questions are going to be anonymous from here on out. Question number 7, do you see Gears of War 4 growing even more after the first few events, or dying down? I think it'll grow, and my reasoning for that is it's going to have like a hype first event or first 2 events, because big org names are involved, and, you know, like, it's really active. It's a brand new game. There's a lot of money on the line now, so a lot of teams are going to get involved. We're going to probably see it fall off a tiny little bit because the hype will die down, but then as people are starting to realize that it is a viable esport, it'll start picking back up and getting to a more stable plateau of where we can expect it to be, you know, from here on out, especially with there being other teams rising up through the ranks that might pick up big org sponsors. You know, there's a lot of organizations that aren't involved in Gears of War yet, so if they join in, there's going to be more fan base coming in. So I expect it to kind of continue, like, you know, go up, hype up, come down a little bit, and then start continually growing until it reaches that plateau. Question number 8 comes from, oh yeah, anonymous. Were your parents supportive of your gaming career from the start, or did you have to convince them? They've always been supportive of me gaming as long as I had my priorities straight, and as my mom always said, a balance in my life. So they wanted me, you know, doing well in school and focusing on that, and then if I could game. And I had like those restrictions like a lot of kids had, like I could only get on past a certain time, like after dinner or something like that, and I had to get off by like 10 or whatever. But as I started competing more and more and started doing well and going, like, getting to that level where I was going to MLG events, you know, my mom traveled with me to the first 3 MLG events that I went to, so she was really supportive of that. But it took some convincing when it got to this point, because they knew, like, I went off to college knowing that I wanted to work in gaming and I wanted to work in esports, but they, you know, they still felt it was important to, you know, get your degree and finish and all that stuff. And I actually took a break from school to pursue esports as a player, but that didn't really pan out, and I think it was a lot due to internet issues and just a loss of motivation on my own end. And then I turned into more management and coaching, and since then I've been working with League of Legends teams on the side of finishing my degree and owning a business. And now that I have finished my degree and I am, like, starting to be where I want to be in terms of esports, where I'm working for, you know, my dream organization and with one of the best teams, if not the best team in the game, for Gears of War, obviously. It's starting to take more of my life, especially with the content creation and stuff like that, and they're very supportive because they know that there's money in the industry. They know that this is now a viable career path. It's not just me wanting to play video games. Like, they know that this is my passion and they want to see me happy. But yeah, you know, you have to be responsible about it. Like, it's a hard industry to break into, and you have to have a talent, or you have to have the right mindset to do it. And you know, you have to be smart about your approach to it. Like, don't be like, oh, my GB team is 23-12, I think I have a chance to do this full time. Like, no. And if you're in League of Legends, like, don't be like, oh, I hit Diamond 4 or Diamond 2, I think I can do this full time, I want to go pro. No. Keep your priorities, keep a balance, keep your life and your schedule, like, healthy and balanced, and then if you continue to grow and you get to that point where you're competing with the upper echelon, then, you know, maybe start considering it and weigh out your options. You know, like explore what you got to do, how much time it's going to take, what you want to do, or you want a team, sponsors, stuff like that. Number 9 asks, how do you guys feel coming into the new game? We feel great. We're really excited for the new game. Gears of War 4 is going to be amazing. We're excited for the show match on Wednesday, October 5th. Make sure you guys tune into that. And yeah, we're just all around really pumped up and excited for the new game. And you know, the players are really motivated, which is awesome to see. Question number 10, what top tips would you give to other aspiring coaches? I've answered this before in some of my other Ask Ashes videos, so feel free to check that out. But the main tips for me that I think make me a successful coach is, like, one, and these are going to change, like, because, you know, I'm doing this off the top of my head and it's hard to narrow down. Like, there's so many important traits and factors that go into being a successful coach. But I would say have a good understanding of the game and have a good understanding of your players and how they learn. Because if you don't work to how they learn, you're gonna run into issues. Also be able to understand that you are not perfect as a coach and you are always able to learn, even if it's from the players. You know, it has to be a give and take thing. So if you learn something from the players, that's great. Like, that's not you doing a bad job, that's you adapting and learning and growing your knowledge more, so that you can then apply that to other theories that the players might not know. The other thing is you have to be very mindful and open to, or very mindful and very able to explain your thoughts and do due diligent work. Like, coaching is not like, you know, you sit there and you hold a timer like people think it is. Like, I spend hours studying the game outside of watching the team scrim, outside of my own playtime. So like there's a lot of work that I do that people don't know about or understand, that you know, some people might not find necessary, but I feel like if it's growing my knowledge, or I can apply it to my coaching tactics to grow my players' knowledge and make them more successful, then it's not time wasted. So those are kind of some of my big tips off the top of my head right now, but make sure to go back and check out some of my other videos, or even watch some of my coaching videos, and you can kind of see how I apply some of those theories. Number 11, a lot of people count out newcomers to the pro scene, yet Gears of War 4 isn't even out yet. How do you think, or do you think, new pro players have a shot? They do, and here's the thing, like, it's like this almost all across the board in life. There's going to be the people who are the experts, and there's going to be the new hungry young talent who are trying to take those spots. So like, obviously, like, right now we are the new pros, right? Like, we're not the OG pros, we're the newer pros, we're the Gal 3 babies or whatever, even though I wasn't around for Gal 3, but my players are. And now they're the top of the, you know, they're the upper echelon, they're the peak right now. But that could change. Like, there could always be that up and coming team. You think about my players a year ago, you know, some of them were taking top placings at like locals and stuff like that, like Hype Festation events and stuff like that. But you know, maybe even a few months before that in Gears of War 3, like they started off GB kids, you know, like they were nobodies, and then they turned themselves into like GB All-Stars, and then they showed up to events, then they started placing well at events, and now Gears of War UE, and they're starting to do even better, and they're pro, and they're competing with the best, and they become the best, and now like that's where we're at now. So there's always going to be that like next generation of players gunning for those top spots. So I never count out new players. In fact, I constantly watch young new talent as much as I can in amateur tournaments and stuff like that, because, you know, I might learn a thing that I can teach my players. Like, it's a different mindset. You guys have a different approach. The next generation might look at something differently than my team does. So I don't ever count them out. I always think that they have a shot. Look at Vex. You know, they showed up to MLG. Everybody was thinking they might place top 12, and they placed like 6th or something like that. So there's always that chance for the underdog story, and there's always going to be young new talent taking the spots of the older talent. Esports kind of has an age limit. You know, once your reaction time and your ability to process information quickly and adapt to situations starts slowing down, you're going to start reaching the end of your career. So Move on to question number 12. If Gears of War was not a thing, do you think you would be playing another game at a competitive level? If so, what game? Alright, just to be clear, I don't play Gears of War at a competitive level. I subbed in for one event. I'm a coach, strictly a coach. Don't plan on playing. I love coaching. If it wasn't a thing, I would probably coach in League of Legends. That's probably my next favorite game. I really enjoy that game, and I think it would capture my attention like Gears of War does if I didn't have Gears of War. But the last question actually comes from @ThatFPS, who asks, who is going to be the 5th player for OPTIC's Gears of War team? Really? There's a whole video. Go into my YouTube channel, go look for the announcement video and watch it. Our roster is and has been for a few months now, and I don't mean to sound like an asshole, I'm just letting you know. Explosive, Lava, Mental, Kenny, Summons. Summons is the new one. He, like, you know, we won MLG with Kenny. Summons is our 5th for Gears of War 4. So hopefully that answers your question. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and go watch my other videos, @ThatFPS, so you can, you know, not be... Right, now I'm gonna answer some questions straight from the comments of my last video, so I'm gonna make this its own section since all the other questions were from Twitter. Evict Tamaze asks, which Gears of War was your personal favorite? Probably Gears of War 2. I really enjoyed that game. MOH asks, you mentioned that you were looking forward to the metagame in Gears of War 4. Why do you think Gears of War 4 will have much more metagame than UE? Go check out my video on where I explain Gears of War 4's escalation game type. Gears of War 4 has so many more details and features towards like the game that aren't just you moving the thumbsticks and shooting your gun, that will make a team win or lose, and knowing those and understanding those and being able to perfect those are going to make that's going to separate the top teams and the bottom tier teams. So that is something you should watch, and you'll understand kind of the answer to that question. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you leave a thumbs up as always. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I really appreciate the comments, the questions, everything that you guys are interacting with me, and I get to interact with you, and we get to do this back and forth. It's fun. If you enjoyed the video, wait, I already said that part. So in the comments down below, first off, tell me I'm an idiot, and second off, leave your question for next week's video using the hashtag #AskAshes so I can see it and I can, you know, answer it in the video in this little end segment that I just did. And make sure you click the subscribe button while you're there. It's also down below, right down there. That will help, or kind of down that direction, I guess. That helps support the channel and helps support me, guys. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.